A new thing. Hello, Malcolm here. Welcome to your daily devotional podcast anchored in Isaiah 43 and verse 19, where God said, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the desert." We're currently looking at God doing a new thing in the life of Esther, and today we explore Esther's family. Reading from chapter 2, verse 5, there was a Jew in the citadel of Susa whose name was Mordecai, son of Jair, son of Shimei, son of Kish, a Benjaminite. Kish had been carried away from Jerusalem among the captives carried away with King Jeconiah of Judah, whom King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon had carried away. Mordecai had brought up Hadassah, that is, Esther, his cousin, for she had neither father nor mother. The girl was fair and beautiful, and when her father and her mother died, Mordecai adopted her as his own daughter. So, when the king's order and his edict were proclaimed, and when many young women were gathered in the citadel of Susa in custody of Hegai, Esther also was taken into the king's palace and put in the custody of Hegai, who had charge of the women. We get a bit of a picture of Esther and her background here. Her parents died when she was young, and she's then adopted and brought up by her cousin Mordecai. She is presumably in that culture and time and at that point in her life totally reliant on him for food, for housing, for safety. It says that she's a girl. And then she is taken. How traumatic this must have been. She's taken from Mordecai without his consent, without her consent, and placed in circumstances of what we might call luxurious danger. More on that in the podcasts that follow this one. What a challenging situation for her to be in, to enter these circles of royalty and yet great cruelty. Let's talk about adoption today. Adoption is a scriptural theme. Of course, Pharaoh's daughter adopted Moses in Exodus 2, and Mordecai here adopts Esther. Both Moses and Esther rescued God's people from disaster. And of course, God adopted Israel in Exodus 4, Deuteronomy 7, Hosea 11. We see God referring to Israel as being his children. And the Apostle Paul mentions this in Romans 9, verse 4, talking about the Israelites, that theirs is the adoption to sonship. Now, by God's grace, we are all brought into his redeemed family. John 1, verse 13. We are children born not of natural descent, nor of human decision or a husband's will, but born of God. And as a result, we have an inheritance. Romans 8, verse 17. Now, if we are children, then we are heirs, heirs of God and co-heirs with Christ, if indeed we share in his sufferings, in order that we may also share in his glory. You know, that passage extends in Romans 8 before and after that verse to talk about the glory that it is that we have been adopted into the family of God, and thereby we can call our Father Abba. You might like to meditate on or pray through Romans 8, 15 to 21 to get a better picture of what it means that we've been adopted. And why not today? Take some time in your time of quiet with God to thank him for adopting you as his son or daughter. God did this by his grace for us, and he did it by his grace for Esther. Mordecai rescued her into his family so that then ultimately she could be used to rescue God's family. Something worth praying about and thinking about today. And I do hope that you find your heart, your life, your congregation, and your whole world inspired by God doing a new thing. Until tomorrow, take care and God bless.